Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Alex, founder of IX Media. We made our clients about $500,000 in email and SMS marketing revenue. In this video, I wanted to talk about the purpose of a welcome flow. What is a welcome flow supposed to do? It's only two things. Number one, to educate customers on the brand. Right? When somebody enters your email list, by the way, for context, who gets a welcome flow, who gets entered into a welcome flow? It's people who just recently subscribed to your emails, right? The trigger, which means how does a welcome flow fire off, is typically immediately after somebody subscribes to your emails. Now, as I mentioned, there's two main purposes of a welcome flow. The first one is to get people, again, to educate people on the brand, get them used to the brand, what your unique selling points are, handle their objections, and then, obviously get them involved with the brand. And number two, the most important one, is to get them to buy, right? When people sign up to your newsletter, you want to get them to buy and not just have a bunch of amazing subscribers in your newsletter. Now, I wanted to break down the purpose of each one because each email within the flow has a specific purpose. This is one of the flow rebuilds we made for one of our clients, and I just wanted to walk you through it. So one of the first one, or the first welcome email, is just your basic welcome introduction rather. The biggest point of this one is you're not really educating people on the brand as much as the other ones, as much as you are just selling them on the actual sale, right? So in this case, a discount, right? So typically, how do you get people to subscribe to your emails? You have some type of discount incentivizing them to sign up, right? So like a welcome 10% off, 15% off, maybe buy something, get one free. This first email is just to confirm that, hey, you got entered into the list and here's the discount, right? The biggest thing is you want to get them to use the discount. So for in this case, it's welcome to Tegerware. A little bit of info about the brand, like one or two sentences at the most at the top, just saying, hey, welcome to Tegerware. Say goodbye to cluttered cutting boards and extra dishes. Swivel Serve, which is the product, lets you prep, serve, and store food in one compact board. So you're giving like a very, very simple overview of the entire brand. Use code, and then you give them that specific unique code. Shop now. Now, a little tip about the code itself: you don't have to make it unique to every single person, as long as you make it unique, like welcome 784 or welcome 478, anything like that still works. Now you go straight to the shop now button at the very top because people I mentioned this in another video, but in every single one of your emails you want to create as little friction as possible for people to buy, right? So at the very top you're giving them the shop now button because when people see it, okay, I don't really care about the brand, I'm sold already, let me just buy and use my discount. And then in the rest of the email is just giving a little bit of information about the product itself and its unique selling points. So here's a nice little transition. Your swivel serve starts here, a little bit more info about the product, and then a quick infographic to kind of break it down. And at the very last part of the email, and real quick, again, you want to give them multiple times to buy, creating as little friction as possible. So we have shop now button at the top, in the middle, a lot in the bottom, and then a final shop now at the end. But again, you're letting them know, hey, use the code, shop now. But then the last part of the section, or the last part of the email rather, is the three biggest products for that specific brand. So if you have like a huge list of products, if you have um, 30, 40, 50 SKUs, make sure that you have the top three that are either the most popular or the top three that you want people to buy to be part of this welcome email, right? So for them, they have about 5 to 6 different products. We put the top three that we want to promote for them, which in this case is the walnut, the pro system, and then the teak system. And then alternating section just to make it stand out. Shop now for each product because some people want to buy a specific product, not just a general, landing page. You let them buy it, and then that's pretty much it. So that's the point of the welcome email. The first one, to get people to use the discount and buy with a little bit of information about the product and history of the brand. Second one is a founder-based email. Now, by the way, just to highlight something a little higher, you don't have to follow this exact structure. I'm very, very honest. Each brand is a little different, so just giving you a little heads up. But typically, this is the structure we follow for most brands. Now, again, you could switch out number two email with number four with number two with number three, so forth and so on. But typically, this is it. And by the way, for a starter flow rebuild, we usually do 5 emails, 4 designs, and 1 graphic-based email, or text-based email rather. Just nice to end it off. But for some brands, again, it just depends, right? Some brands you want to have 8, some brands you want to have 3, literally. So just this is the standard for context. But anyways, going back to it, the second email in this case is a founder email, just like a personal note from the founder. So it's to Swivel Serve community. So you guys could put to XYZ brand or XYZ community, whatever the case is. You unlock 10% off. And again, it just makes it feel real. And here we just have like a personal note from the founder, like, hey, it's Devin, founder and the CEO of Tegerware, and then you give a little info about the brand, why if you're talking the founder's perspective, you could say why I started the brand, what are some of the problems and challenges I faced before making the product or the brand itself, and then here's why I came up with the specific solution. And then you just make it feel very personal. At the end, welcome in. Here's a 10% off your first order. Typically, again, I personally suggest this, but do that as you will. I usually want to promote the discount code in every single email. Why? You may be saying, well, if somebody bought already, why would I want to keep promoting the discount code? They're going to use the code again. You set it up in, let me rephrase this. When you have your welcome flow, you could have a trigger or technically a filter that says whenever somebody buys, you exclude them from the list. So let's just say in email two, I'm like, you know what? I have enough information. I see the code. Let me go ahead and buy. I'm not going to receive email three, number four, number five, so forth and so on. So you have to worry about that. And then again, people enter the flow. You want them to buy. So that's why we want to promote the discount code in every single email because it's the first time they're going to buy and it's the hardest time they're going to buy, right? When is somebody going to have the most hesitancy? I don't know, say the word, to buy from you guys, it's in the very first time they buy, right? After they buy for the first time, it's going to be easier to get them to buy the second time, third time, fourth time. So that's why we want to promote the discount code in every email, right? Well, redeem 10% off now. They could click this button right here. You could add a little underline button. You could add kind of like a different font to make it stand out. Or you could add a shop now button as we did. Use the code and then obviously a little signature to make sure it seems like it came from the founder. And then if you're the founder itself, make a little note. You could take inspiration from this. Use your welcome code and then a little infographic at the end showing what the product is again, what are the unique selling points to make it easy for people to understand. The third one is the American made swivel serve. I'll quickly walk you through it, but mainly the purpose of this email is to show people how the product is made. For this specific brand, when we onboarded the client, we were like, okay, what are some of the biggest objections or reasons people don't usually use the product or don't buy, right? Or at least use the product correctly. And one of the biggest things is like, hey, we have the swivel board. That's what the product is, but a lot of people don't know how to use it. So we wanted to show like, hey, this is how people could use it. So it's not only getting people to buy for the first time, but it's future pacing out like, okay, once I buy the product, this is how I'm going to use it. This is especially important if you have some type of supplement or anything that people have to consistently use. You want them to future pace like, okay, this is a habit, this is a ritual, it's not just a one-off thing. So this gets people to put them in their mind to say, okay, this is something I have to do multiple times. Or in this case, just how to use the product as a whole. The American made swivel serve. Swivel serve is the newest ingredient in a clean kitchen. It is a three-piece set with a removable cutting board, so forth and so on. A little bit about the brand, and as I mentioned again, use code. Give them the code at the top. Shop now, and then a nice little transition. Real quick, also I'll mention try to use your brand colors. It's important. In this case, we did something unique where, like in every email, we use a specific brand color. We use blue, red, green, and then the rest of the emails we're going to do something else. But that's kind of what that is. And then, anyways, easy as one, two, three. Excuse me, easy as one, two, three, getting people to, show them how to actually use the product. And then we give them like load your tray on the toppings, slice toppings on the board, swivel and swipe your toppings into each compartment. This is very important to understand. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to know how to use the product. And you do that by making your copy under fifth grade reading level, number one. And number two, making it easy for them to conceptualize, in other words, imagine in their mind what the point of the email is, right? In this case, we want them to show how to use the product. We want to make it easier for them to understand. And a step further is showing them an actual GIF of how to use the product itself. So in this case, see it in action. You guys can't see the GIF because we still have to add it. But here's where, GIF's going to be, give you an idea of what it'll look like. It'll be something like this where it could be like, see it in action. And then people, here's a plain GIF of like the founder cutting, using the board, how to use it, swiping the topics into the compartment, all that fun stuff. And at the bottom, a nice little transition out. What makes swivel serve special? 100% made in the USA, and then a bunch of unique selling points, such as features and benefits. And again, infographics are a great way to use the product. And if you want to take it a step further, have your designer make it easier for people to actually visualize the product. So instead of showing them a basic picture like maybe this, we went ahead and made the image so that we could see every single part because this is three piece product. So we want to show them the top piece, middle piece, and the bottom piece so people could visualize what they're getting. Very, very important. And then at the end, just a nice little sentence to wrap it up. Shop now, and that's pretty much it. By the way, in the footer, if you have multiple products or categories of products, I will always suggest having some type of button at the footer so people could go. So it's like if you have chocolates and you have protein chocolates, fiber based chocolates, low calorie chocolates, and then just like normal chocolates, I would maybe put like something like this. low calorie chocolates, normal chocolates, high fiber chocolates, protein chocolates, right? And then you would put each one somewhere like this. It obviously doesn't look good here because we're not doing it for this brand. Just a little tip, because a lot of the last thing I'll mention, a lot of times people see the email and you make the email, and, it has a certain amount of products, but maybe they do want a product and they do want to buy, but maybe not any other products they see. So they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to buy. But when they see the footer, it's like, oh, that's what I want. And that category, let's just say, like, I don't want any of these products, but in the footer, I see that they offer low calorie chocolates. I could just click that button and be taken there. Next up is an objection handling email. So this email is supposed to handle people's objections. What are the top three, four objections people have prior to purchasing? And this was supposed to answer it, right? So at the top, it's just a basic kind of like intro to the email. Your cutting board for life, the all-in-one system for less mess and less space. Three unique selling points here just to get them used to the product. Nice little visual here with the trays and the fruits, all that sort of good stuff. And then your 10% off code is waiting. Again, keep mentioning the discount code. People who get this email, if you set it up the right way, aren't haven't bought yet, so you want to make sure that they get it. And at the bottom, you obviously don't want to say, okay, let me handle your objections. So how do we do that? By having an FAQ, frequently asked questions. And then here's the top three objections or frequently asked questions. And then we have, is a dishwasher safe? Yes. Little description. Is a microwave and freezer safe? Yes, little description. Is it safe for food? Yes, little description. And then here, again, you want to get people to visualize how having this product is going to help them in their life, in their health, in their habits. So here we're going to put a before and after, similar to here. And then this is kind of what I was explaining. This is what's going to look like of before using the board, and it's going to be somebody cutting the board, and you're going to see all the plastic shavings, all the nasty stuff, opposed to using the swivel board. It's going to be super easy to use, non-toxic, all that fun stuff, and people could visualize, okay, how is it? How am I using the product now, or how is my life without using the product, and how is my life while using the product? And then use code welcome784, as I mentioned. Really want to get people to buy, and then a normal shop now button. Now, this final email is a normal email that gets people to buy with an urgency call, right? So it's, by the way, this is a text-based email, so it's no fancy design, just a normal one. Final reminder, 45 minutes left. Hey, whatever your name is, it's just Devin, which is the founder. Just a friendly reminder that your 10% off expires in 45 minutes. Your code, welcome478, as I keep mentioning, shop now. Quick little thing, in your text-based emails, try to make sure, especially in the very first welcome email, but have the shop now be at the very top, because if I just had it at the very bottom, people are like, I don't really care, and I got to read all this sort of stuff. But if they see, okay, here's my welcome code, like this is literally, if I want to take a step further, we could literally just make the email this. That's it. And people would still buy, right? Because the biggest selling point of this email is the angle, it's the urgency, right? So it's okay, I know it's about to expire in 10 minutes. Use my code shop now. That will convert a lot of people. Just wanted to show you. But in this case, we still wanted to include some other features and benefits. But again, we had it at the very top, so people who just want to buy using code, use it. Here's why people love swivel serve. Made in the USA. You call out features and benefits of your product, especially the biggest unique selling points. Why do people buy? What are the main reasons people buy? Why is your product special and unique? You put those three sections there. And then image here, we're going to put an image of the swivel serve in action. So we'll have a little image of the actual product, of somebody using the product itself, just to get people to understand what it actually looks like. And then at the end, this is the last 45 minutes to take code, to use your code. Hope you take advantage. Shop now. And then a sign off from the founder. But anyways, that is a welcome flow for you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Talk to you guys soon. If you have any questions, let me know. God bless.